Hello and welcome to this episode of Longevity Weekly with me, Chris Kerwin. This is a show where I take you through all the news and updates that we've been looking at this week. And today we've got three fascinating topics, including why women might be more susceptible to autoimmune disease, our chat with feline genetics expert Professor Leslie Lyons, and are we drinking too much caffeine? But firstly, what's been in the headlines this week? A few days ago heralded the launch of the shiny new Humanity Health app, the world's first app to track and help slow your rate of biological aging. The app tracks a number of lifestyle pillars including exercise, nutrition, mental well-being and sleep quality, as well as monitoring blood and genetic biomarkers. The app is designed to help the user to understand how the actions that they take will affect their rate of biological aging and guide them into making the correct decisions for their health. In other news, Loyal, a company set up by young entrepreneur Feline, recently announced that they have raised $20 million worth of funding. Loyal is a company which is aiming to develop FDA-approved drugs to extend health and lifespan of our favourite four-legged companions, and then translate these findings across to impact human longevity. So that is it for the headlines in brief for this week, and now on today's main segments. Our immune systems are usually capable of recognising the difference between our own cells and the cells of another organism. But sometimes it does get things wrong, leading it to recognise your body's own cells as a threat and attacking them. Diseases caused by this reaction are known collectively as autoimmune diseases. A peculiar characteristic of these diseases is that they seem to occur much more often in females than in males. Females are over twice as likely to suffer from multiple sclerosis, 3 times as likely to suffer from rheumatoid arthritis, and about 9 times as likely to suffer from lupus when compared to their male counterparts. But why is this? In mammals, males receive 1 copy of the X chromosome, while females receive 2 copies. To prevent female cells from having twice as many gene products from the X chromosomes as males, 1 copy of the X chromosome in each female cell is inactivated in a process called Lyonization, or X inactivation. We once thought that this process was very stable, meaning that once an X chromosome got inactivated, it would stay inactivated forever. However, it turns out that that's not quite true. It seems that in some cells, the inactive X chromosome can be activated again. A study in 2016 which looked at patients with lupus, an autoimmune disease characterised by severe inflammation, found that the inactivated X chromosome had been reactivated in the immune cells. Another interesting finding was that the X chromosome carries many genes related to the immune system. In other words, the partial reactivation of the second chromosome may have led to the overexpression of immune-related genes, leading to hyperactivity of these immune cells. And what happens when immune cells have no foreign antigens to fend off? They start to attack the host, and thus autoimmunity is born. A couple of weeks ago I had the absolute pleasure of being joined by feline genetics expert Professor Leslie Lyons, who is based at the College of Veterinary Medicine at the University of Missouri. Leslie is a director of the 99 Lives Cat Genome Sequencing Initiative, a project much like the 100,000 Genome Study, which is sequencing entire genomes to look for mutations which cause disease, but in cats as opposed to humans. So here's just a short clip from our talk. A bit more about the 99 Lives Cat Genome Sequencing Initiative. Could you just tell us a little bit more about what that is and what are your goals and the aims of the project?
Yeah, the 99 Lives Cat Genome Initiative or project, whatever you would like to call it, is really an effort that I started to push along once I got here to the University of Missouri in 2013. At that time also, the cost of sequencing was drastically dropping for humans and then also for other species. So a key thing that happened was Illumina came out with an instrument called the X10, and that allowed sequencing costs to dramatically drop to about $5,000 to $3,000 per mammalian genome. So mammalian genomes have 2.4 to 3 gigabases of DNA. And to be able to sequence those genomes at a high enough depth of coverage, that cost had to get down to about that. And so then we realized, hey, it's at a cost that the normal person and researchers can really start sequencing cats. And 9 cats didn't seem like enough, 9 lives. So we made it, well, let's set a goal that we can, is a little ambitious. Let's do 99 cats.
A huge thanks to Leslie for giving us time to chat about her work, and if you want to go and check out the full talk, then I'll leave the link in the description below. It's safe to say that caffeinated drinks are pretty popular. In 2016 alone, it was reported that 7 million tonnes of coffee was drunk worldwide. Now, caffeine is by far the world's most widely consumed drug. Entire economies run on it, and many of us feel like we can't even function properly without it. Aside from its ability to keep us awake, there is also evidence that caffeine has anti-aging properties. But is there such a thing as too much caffeine? There's no straightforward answer to this question, because, like most drugs, tolerance varies from one person to the next. Some people will experience negative effects like spikes in blood pressure, sleep disturbance, and nervousness after a single cup of coffee, while others can drink multiple cups in a day without any such effects. However, it is general consensus that for healthy adults, 400 milligrams a day shouldn't raise any general health concerns. That doesn't mean you can't drink more, just that 400 milligrams is what is tolerated for most healthy individuals. Now here's a handy little guide as to how much you would need to drink to reach 400 milligrams. So what if I have health problems? Well, caffeine can raise blood pressure for 3 to 4 hours, but this doesn't seem to affect cardiovascular health in healthy adults. However, for people with hypertension or health conditions, the long-term effects of caffeine intake are uncertain. After all, caffeine is a stimulant, and as such, could be unsafe for some people with cardiovascular disease. This is something that needs to be judged by a health professional on a case-by-case basis. Can caffeine actually be deadly? Well, caffeine can be lethal at doses of 150 milligrams per kilogram, which for someone weighing around 70 kilograms is about 10 grams of caffeine, i.e. 25 times the daily suggested intake. So yes, caffeine can kill you, but you'll probably be kicked out of Starbucks long before that happens. You do need to be careful with concentrated forms of caffeine like pills and powders though, as it is much easier to accidentally overdose this way. And that is it for another episode of Longevity Weekly. So I really hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to find out more about anything that I talked about today, as always, you can follow the links in the description below. And you can go and check out the Gowing Life website where you can keep up to date with the longevity dailies and 101 facts about aging. So I hope you have a great week and I'll see you again next time. Thank you very much. Goodbye.